Today, I want to talk to you about the rib cage. Despite the increasing secularization of our society, a lot of people seem to think that men and women have different numbers of ribs, based on the biblical story where Eve was made from one of Adam's ribs. This isn't true. The human skeleton has 12 sets of ribs, whether you're male or female. So 24 ribs, 12 on each side, that go from the sternum at the front round to the spine at the back. This produces a bony cage that encases your heart and your lungs, but it's not as big as some people think. You can see this muscle at the bottom, the diaphragm, that domes up into the rib cage. So the space for your lungs is a lot higher in the body than some people think it is. The 12 sets of ribs are separated into 3 different sorts of ribs. The first 7 pairs are referred to as true ribs. These are the ones that go from the spine at the back round to the front, where they connect directly to the sternum via a small bit of cartilage to allow for movement. The next 3 pairs of ribs are described as false ribs. These ones go from the spine at the back and they come round to the front, but their section of cartilage joins to the cartilage of the previous ribs. They do not connect directly to the sternum. The final 2 sets of ribs are called floating ribs. These connect to the spine, but they do not come all the way around to the sternum. The sheet of muscle at the bottom of the rib cage is called the diaphragm, and it has a large domed shape that takes it up as high as the 5th or 6th rib. When this muscle contracts, it flattens, increasing the volume in the rib cage, causing the lungs to expand and air to come in. It is the expansion of the rib cage and the lungs expanding that draws air in. It is not air coming in that causes the lungs to expand. And as we can see, the lungs are a lot higher than most people think they are. They come right up to the bottom of your neck. Because of the joints between the spine and the rib cage, and the cartilage joints between the rib cage and the sternum, the whole structure can move in several different ways. The first way is lateral movement, where the ribs expand out to the sides. This is described as bucket handle movement. You can imagine the rib like a handle on a bucket. This movement allows the ribs to expand laterally out to the side. The second form of movement is described as pump handle movement, if you can imagine one of the old water pumps where the handle is pumped up and down. And this is where the sternum at the front rises and falls. The final movement involved in breathing is what is called belly breathing. This is where the abdominal muscles are relaxed as the diaphragm comes down to allow the breath to be taken. You ought to be able to do each of these 3 movements separately if you really think about it. But in day-to-day breathing, it tends to just be the belly breath that happens. For a full breath, you need all 3.